Good afternoon everybody and welcome to my bedroom. So if you are up to date with my life, you'll know that I moved house recently. I posted a house tour on YouTube, but I haven't done much else on YouTube purely because I feel like I've been doing a lot of Instagram stuff and I feel like Instagram lends itself to little updates, whereas YouTube needs slightly longer form content. So I've been waiting for things to happen so I could document them. If you want to see the little bits and bobs I've been up to, then you can follow me on on Instagram. Sorry, I'm just at Chapman. And you can see I've got like story highlights, there's all sorts of things going on. So you can see the little bits. But this video is slightly longer. It might even be like a one take house tour again, but in reverse, starting from the top of the house going down. And just showing you all the bits and bobs that have happened. So, this is the bedroom. You may remember that I only had side lights on the walls. So for example, where this paint splodge is here, I had a side light and had a few more dotted around. But there was no ceiling lights here, so I wanted to get wardrobes installed, which are currently in there now. But I couldn't do that until I had the wall lights removed and ceiling lights put in, which I thought was going to be an easy job. The electrician did too. He told me it's going to take 2 days. It took nearly 3 weeks because complications. He didn't know where the beams were running through my ceiling, so we had to just start drilling and hope for the best. And he hit the beams and he missed the beams and blah blah blah. It took forever basically. And then even when he drilled the holes, there's not much space between the ceiling and the roof, so he had to like really squeeze things in. It just took a long time. Had to get a plaster in to sort of plaster up the holes and the painter to paint the bits. I'm doing most of the painting myself, but because that had to be done quickly, I got a painter in to do it for me because the next day the wardrobes were going in. Now the wardrobes are in and I'm really happy. These are from Sharps, I think it was Sharps actually, and only because, I mean, I'm sure I could have got them done quicker and cheaper and probably more efficiently, but I was just thinking, oh, I need wardrobes, and I happened to see an advert on TV for Sharps, so I just got one on the website there and then and sorted it, and they're great. It's one of those things that, it's a little thing, but getting out of the shower in the morning and having your clothes in the same place, rather than getting out of the shower, going downstairs naked and wet to find your clothes and like rummage through things, it's made a real big difference to sort of my well-being and just sort of I don't feel quite so much like I'm camping now. So maybe at some point I'll do a wardrobe tour, but for now, you know, here is the first section of the wardrobe. It's just so organised and I'm so happy because it's just been, you know, I've got a lot of clothes because of what I do for a living, so I've just had stuff taking up loads of space and now I've got organisation and I just feel better. I will be painting this room probably next actually, because the only thing I haven't done yet in here and a few other rooms is the floor. So until the floor goes down, I can't start adding any furniture because it needs to go on the floor. So the carpet's coming up and I've got really nice wooden floor going down, but that won't happen for like 2 or 3 weeks. So all I can really do is paint. So that's why, for example, I'm still sleeping on a mattress and not a bed. I have a bed. It's here. Well, that's part of the bed. The other part of the bed's in there, look. But I haven't started making it because I only have to dismantle it again for the floor. So we're getting really nice wooden floor. But I will paint. I'm going to paint this colour here. This is called Juniper Ash from Little Green. But I feel like it's a very grey blue, which makes the grey from the wardrobes, which I think are called Dove. I think the colour of those is Dove, and it makes it really stand out, I think. And also the white of these shelves here. I like the white of the light switches. Doesn't it look nice against that white there? I mean, that's just like an undercoat, but yes. Other than that, I've been doing lots of doors. So the doors in this house are all like this. You can't really see on camera, but they're this horrible sort of vinyl type thing. They're just not very nice. They don't look very nice and they feel very nice. So I have spent an eternity, it's taken so long, sanding them all down. I haven't done this bedroom yet, I've done everything, well, I'm halfway through everything else. Sanding them all down, adding 2 layers of this really thick oil-based undercoat just to cover them, because they're really stubborn, like kind of plasticky feel, and paint doesn't like it, and then adding 2 coats of the top coats. So, I mean, this room here, this door is done, and you can't really see any difference. It's quite dark in here, but it's a bit glossy. I've gone for eggshell, so not gloss, but a little bit of a sheen, and it just looks much more sort of luxurious. I haven't taken the tape off yet, but I've changed all the hardware to brass rather than the chrome that was on it, because I just feel like this house is of a period. I think it's Georgian. It might be Victorian, but it's certainly not a chrome house, and all of the hardware on things was chrome. this colour on the walls, I've got the tin down here, it's called Mid Azure 96 from Little Green. I love it, but you have to really love it because it's a very brave colour. It's like dark green. Weird, it's quite transparent, so when you apply it, the walls under were like this horrible magnolia colour, and it took like 4 coats to really cover because it's quite translucent, even though it's a dark colour. But this room's good to go. I just need the floor done. Again, I'm on floorboards. I actually had these floorboards looked at to see if we could repair them, but they're just, the guy came over when I could, but they're never going to be great, so I'm having floor installed. So until that happens, I can't do the rest of the furniture. But this is my office, so I want to have like pictures on the walls. I want to have like my my laptop in here, and I've got a sofa bed going in, which is this thing behind me. It's going to be lovely. I'm just now at a standstill until I can get the floor down. Same with this room. This is the spare room. I've painted these shelves here. I'm in the middle of painting the wardrobe here. But this room's going to be just white. I think it's kind of got one of those blank canvas rooms. So it's a spare room. There'll be a bed in here, bedside tables, and a few sort of basic bits of furniture. And then we'll make it look jazzy with like nice lights and nice artwork and just kind of, it's for guests. So I want it to be fairly neutral because whereas I have taste for certain things, I feel like my guests might not agree with my taste, so I don't want to inflict like a dark green room on them. Then down here we have the living room, where quite a lot's happened actually. Not least of which we changed this light, which I love. Before was this just really kind of basic, pretty nasty light thing, and this one, let me turn the light on. Where are you? Light switch. Here we go. Look at like the pattern it makes on the ceiling. I just really like that. I spent a lot of time and attention on this wall here. This is the feature wall. The colour is called Ashes of Roses, again by Little Green. I painted the shelves white. I've added some plants underneath the shelves, so in this space here and this space here. I'm going to have like cupboards made so I can just hide things like the router and the TV box and like the PlayStation and stuff like that. I've added these lanterns. I need to get some candles for them. That one is massive. But I quite like it, and I think it looks beautiful in that sort of like burnt coppery colour up against this pink. And then the floor will be sanded and changed. We're going to go for this colour here. So the floor in here actually is really expensive for beautiful oak. I didn't know that because when I look at it, for me as a novice, it just looks like a not very nice colour. It's a bit orangey, it's a bit shiny. But the guy came over to sand it down, do this test, and he said, this is a really lovely floor, we just need a different colour for it. I've been sleeping on a mattress down here for a while because when the electrician came over, it was carnage upstairs. Other than that, this wall is going, because we're going to get the kitchen changed, and I've painted the wall and the ceiling in a colour called, what was it called? French Grey Mid, again by Little Green, because I really feel like it makes the white of the architrave here really stand out. And then here's the kitchen, look. I'm going to show you it. I've got my design here. I got the kitchen from Howden's. I've paid for it, it's all happening, it's getting installed in the first week of November. So this is what it's going to look like. This section here is actually that wall that's going to get knocked out, so it's going to be an L shape. So maybe I'll show you in the kitchen so you can sort of visualise it. So the kitchen at the moment is a mess. It's just kind of the room that we're just adding sort of junk to, So this wall behind me will kind of not exist, half exist, to be a part of it, but most of it will be gone. And then this will all, what you just saw, sort of run down here and then along there. And actually where that door is open, here, will sort of be the entrance to the kitchen. And we're gonna seal that door with like a big glass panel so it still gets light coming through. So there you go, I'm out of breath from explaining everything. That's kind of a one-take vlog of all the updates so far. I think from now on YouTube what I'll do is I will do more vloggy type things, but it won't all be house stuff. So I might go, oh look, here's a new thing for the house, and then I'll be out having a coffee, doing something, taking a meeting, and I'll just incorporate house stuff in the vlogs, because I think otherwise it's going to be very house heavy. I just had a lot to tell you, so whew, I'm exhausted, the camera's heavy, and there's a lot to tell you, but I hope that was interesting. I hope you're kind of finding this as fascinating as I am, but hopefully much less stressful than I am, because there's so many decisions to make, and you know, I have moments where I just go, oh my God, I can't do it anymore. But it's coming together and it's looking good. So thank you very much. I hope you're having a good day, and I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.